Welcome back to The Potter's Voice, the place where your scars tell stories, and your story still has power. I don't know what storm you've been through. I don't know the depth of your pain. But what I do know is this: God wastes nothing. That heartbreak you survived, that night you cried until your chest ached, that season when everything felt broken, it wasn't meaningless. Heaven saw it, and heaven will use it. Today, I want you to hear me with your heart. Your pain has a purpose. Your brokenness is not your identity. It's your beginning. And the one who holds galaxies is still holding you. Pain has a way of silencing us. Sometimes it screams, other times it whispers. But no matter how it speaks, it is never ignored by God. Psalm 56:8 says, "You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book?" That means your tears are not invisible. They are recorded. They are remembered. Every single ache of your heart, God has felt it with you. When your pillow was soaked with tears, He was there. When you sat quietly in a crowd, pretending to be okay, He was watching. And though He didn't always speak back in the moment, He was listening. Pain is not proof that God has left. It's often the place where He draws the closest. Psalm 34 verse 18 reminds us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." So if you're hurting, you're not forgotten. You're actually seen more clearly than ever. We live in a world that avoids broken things, but we serve a God who specializes in using them. In God's hands, broken is not the end. It's the beginning. Before Jesus fed the 5,000, He took the bread, blessed it, and then broke it. It was the broken bread that became multiplied. The same principle applies to your life. Before your testimony can feed anyone else, you may have to go through the breaking. And it's painful. But remember this: God never breaks to destroy. He breaks to reveal. John 12:24 says, "Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit." The crushing seasons, the buried moments, they feel dark, they feel silent. But under the soil of your sorrow, something new is growing. You're not buried, you're being planted. If you've ever said, "Why would God allow this pain?" you're not alone. But the answer isn't always found in the moment. Sometimes it's only seen in hindsight. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned. Years later, he said in Genesis 50:20, "What you meant for evil, God meant for good." Joseph's pain prepared him for purpose. And you, yes, you, are walking through a refining fire that won't burn you. It's molding you. Moses didn't discover his calling in the palace. It was in the wilderness. Ruth didn't find Boaz until after she lost everything. Even Jesus, He didn't save the world from a stage. He saved it from a cross. God uses pain to push us into purpose. And sometimes the tears you cry today will water the fruit someone else eats tomorrow. Don't curse your pain, consecrate it. Say, "God, I don't understand it, but I trust you to use it." Maybe you feel like the worst parts of your life have already happened. Maybe you feel like the damage is too deep, but hear this: you are not too broken to be used. Isaiah 64 verses 8 says, "We are the clay, and you are our potter." The potter never throws away the clay. He reshapes it. He remolds it. In fact, sometimes He intentionally breaks the vessel to remake it into something stronger. So if you feel shattered, it could be God getting ready to reshape your destiny. Don't give up on your life. God hasn't. The potter is still spinning the wheel. And what He's forming is more glorious than what was lost. Say this with me: God's not finished with me yet. You didn't survive that for nothing. That storm you went through, that abuse you escaped, that depression you outlasted, it's not just part of your history, it's part of your ministry. 2 Corinthians 1:4 says, "He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others." You are becoming the answer to someone else's prayer. What broke you will become your badge. You may feel unqualified, but the scar on your soul is the proof that you've walked through fire and came out not just alive, but wiser. Don't hide your wounds. They carry the oil of healing. There's someone out there waiting to hear, if God got you through it, maybe He can get me through it too. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him." All things. That means the breakups, the rejections, the delays, the detours, even the sins you've repented of. God is using it all. In your eyes, it may look like broken pieces, but in his hands, it becomes a beautiful mosaic. What you lost wasn't wasted. What you endured isn't ignored. He is writing redemption into your pain, and one day, when the light hits your story just right, you'll see it clearly. Nothing was wasted, not one moment, not one tear, not one battle. God used it all to build. Comment, "My pain has a purpose." Share this with someone who needs healing. Subscribe to The Potter's Voice for more faith-filled motivation. We will appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to encourage us to bring more spiritual messages your way. Thanks for watching. In a world that feels like it's spinning out of control,
one thou high,
when the bills pile high, when the news gets darker, when your prayers go unanswered, there's one unshakable truth you need to hear. God has not lost control. Join me on the next episode of The Potter's Voice as we uncover the peace, power, and presence of God in the middle of life's chaos. The storm may be loud, but the throne is still occupied. Episode title: God is still in control, even in chaos. Don't miss it. Your hope.